Questions?
Have you made a decision on what you're doing with Manu here for the last game?
I don't see playing him this last one.
Was he close, I guess?
Oh, yeah, I'd say, yeah, he was better, just trying to get his legs back under him.
Was there any value in getting him for these last 3 or 4 weeks in practice to I guess, catapult him into 2026?
Well, it's certainly not going to hurt. You get football reps, and so those have been good for him. I mean, he looks a lot better than he did, 3 weeks ago when he started, so that's a good thing. He gets some individual work, some technique work, teamwork against our defense, so that always helps.
St. Brown.
He's trending the right way right now. We'll see. He's going to try to go out there a little bit today and run around, and we'll see.
Dan, in 22, you guys came into the last game of the season with the same 8-8 record. Obviously, different circumstances. What's the difference in the mindset of the players, you think, from when 8-8 going into Green Bay with a chance to get one in, and now this year 8-8 with no chance?
Well, I think more than anything, the focus is just we got one more. This is it, man. Like today's our last Friday practice. We're going outside. It's snowing out there. Let's go. Right? And let's get the work in. Let's make it good. Let's make it crisp. And we got one game. All you got, man. All you got. Then you can load your car up and go wherever you need to go and do whatever you need to do. And we'll regroup and get ready for next year. But right now, all you got, man, for one game.
Have you been able to pinpoint, where things went wrong or why? I mean, a lot of us point to like Ragnow leaving and the trickle down that had on the offensive line. I don't know if there's one.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, there's always, as with everything, when it doesn't work the way that we want it to work, it's a number of things. There's a lot of things that go into it. And do I have a couple of ideas? Maybe right now, but I need some time here. I need time to really sit down and think about all this. But what we do know is one way or another probably change is inevitable. Now it may not be much, but there will be something that'll change.
You mentioned back in LA after that game, some of the young guys on this roster really haven't experienced through a game situation like this where nothing to play for, if you will. What do you hope they take away from this experience, I guess, this last week?
You're talking about the young guys?
Young guys, first, second year guys who haven't.
Well, they are playing for a lot. So they are, and I've asked this the last 2 years. I've sat up there with different players that got an opportunity, and I said, did you give everything you had? Because you had an opportunity to play. They played on the last game of the year. And knowing that this probably is your last game, did you give everything you had? Was all your focus in it? Was it really? Because there's no guarantee that you're going to get a chance to play again or start again. You're just not. Every year is different, There's very few players you can say, you know what, that guy I know is going to start next year. I mean, I think Panay Sewell's probably going to start, right? I mean, yeah, we know that, but it doesn't go that way with everybody. We're going to have to reload and go back to the basics of some of the things we do and get back to what we were in 21-22 a little bit.
Isaac's had a uptick in target share over the last 2 weeks. He's got 4 touchdowns in his last 5 games. What do you like about the way he's ending the season, and what do you think has caused him to?
Who's that? I'm sorry.
Isaac. Just lie.
Yeah, he's done a really good job, and I would say he's probably grown more than anybody has throughout the year as far as our young guys. He's grown the most. And what you love about him is why he's here. Of course, he's got ability, but, man, he's smart. He's instinctive. He's tough. He's a finisher. He's resilient. Every week we've been able to put more and more on him. He's serving a lot of different roles, playing a lot of different positions, but he's just continued to, he's one of those guys that broke through probably that rookie wall at some point and just kept going, and that's what you want. Those are the guys you're looking for.
Kind of sticking with Tesla, John Morton, Goff, they talked about the potential of Tesla, Saint, and JMO being a trio, and they're them forming a knit bond, moving forward. How have you seen them, come together as a trio over the past couple of weeks, and what do you think their potential could be?
Well, I think they look. Everything in that room starts with Saint, all right? And he sets the standard in that room and the temperature, right? And there's things that are expected. And And then along the way, those guys have grown, and J-Mo's become one of those guys for us too. Those are our veteran guys now, man. They do it the right way, and they take pride in their work, and they're as happy as anybody to see one of their guys score or make a play, And now Tesla, here we go, man. He's the end of his rookie year, and to see the growth, that when you do that, you begin to get trust, right? The trust grows among your teammates, the coaches, everybody. And so, I think ultimately you just want to feel like at some point that they feel like he's one of theirs, right? You're one of us, and that's where he's at right now. Tesla's done that, I feel like.
First time facing DeAndre Swift, but you look at him and how he's been productive this season going against him. How you saw him grow and just seeing him game plan against him this week as well, like the impact he's had.
Yeah, well, we know Swift's explosive. He's always been explosive. He is consistently running hard, right? Just man, he sees it, he hits it, and he goes. And time after time after time, man, you just see a resilient runner. I feel like he's got a good vision. They've done a good job with the scheme for him, and man, he's running through these tackles. He's putting his foot in the ground, going back, and yeah, he's running really well, man. He's having a hell of a year.
Maybe it's not a perfect measure, but there's been 7 times this season where you've been held under 100 rushing yards, and that's been such a big part of your identity is being able to run the football. You're 0-7 in those games.
Yep.
When you say, maybe we're not that far away, we're close to getting to where we want to be next year, how critical is it to get that going, and maybe how daunting is it to getting that back to where it was?
It's everything. It's everything.
Dan, one more to Slav question, if I can. How would you say that his opportunity share has grown and take advantage of being without Laporta and Wright? Has that, in the second half of the season, really opened him up to more learning?
That's helped, because he does get more opportunities. We get in some of these games where, they start taking away Saint and J-Mo. You get in some of these criticals and they start getting doubled. And, that's why Leaf had a big game, Pittsburgh, At least one of those guys too, man. He just keeps going and going. We got a good room. It's a really good room. But yes, those opportunities have opened up because of that, and he's made the most of them. He has, and there again, his trust, our trust in him has grown, and his confidence has grown, and he's just getting better and better and better.
How do you expect to call the game, and how much has your perspective changed since maybe the end of 2021 as a play caller versus now with the offense having grown and evolved since then?
Well, are you saying how do I expect to call the game?
Yeah.
This game?
Yeah, this kind of game, yeah.
I'm going to call it to win. Well, I think it's a little different. I mean, we got some really good skill players, and trying to get those guys the ball, and finding ways to create ops for those, I think, is the biggest thing. That's where it starts right now.
Clearly, you're playing to win, right? You're playing most of your starters, whatever it is. Panay, do you give any update on his status? And if he's not able, could that impact how much or how you use golf?
I don't see him practicing today. And, this, I don't know. I don't feel great about Sewell right now. But I'm always going to hold out hope. But as far as, does it affect you not having? Yeah, it does. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal football player. Yet, we got guys who are going to step in and do a good job for us, man. They got a job to do. They'll have a role, and we expect them to hold up their end of the bargain.
Wouldn't cause you to sit golf, though. I mean, not having.
No. Nope.
Thanks, Dan.